There's a school not a million miles away from me in Harbury, and those school kids are absolute saints.
Oh,
So
wow.
you don't even need to tell them to wear the mask. They've got the mask on. They go sit down.
I know Harbury.
Not even a spot of trouble. Not even a spot of mess.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And then there's another one at Birkenshaw, and it's exact opposite. Put your mask on. I'm exempt.
Oh,
yeah, we're behind the curtain, aren't we now? Aren't we?
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I couldn't mute my mic.
Mute the show.
They're all exact opposite.
Yeah, oh, it's always the way. Ooh, I think they might be able to hear us, but we can all hear each other still, can't we?
Yes, we can all hear it. Voices, says Tony Parkinson. They could be in his head. And Andy Fairchild says yes.
Who else is in chat, John?
Dion's. You can say that better than me. I would say Dion.
78.
Yeah, Dion 78. Gareth's here. Phil Oates is here. Paul Ibbison's here. Johan's here. Patrick's here. Glenn's here. Above the Clouds is here. But Patrick's here. You've got to try and hit them all, don't you? Tony, we already know you're here. Mick Blizzard's here. He's here with a Yup McTavish. No video. No shit. He'll be here in a second. We're behind the curtain. But the curtain will go back.
Yes, I'm going to roll the intro in just a minute.
Let's roll.
Yeah?
Let's roll.
You'll all be scared when you see my face.
Oh, no, they won't. Okay, let's roll intro then.
They could last week. Did I try?
So I'm used to having quite and not chatting in between because any best rules are said.
Oi!
Welcome to the new Ohm Show, Chapter 70, turning into quite an epic.
We're both wearing the same t-shirt. It's embarrassing, isn't it?
Yours has got a better texture than mine.
A texture? How can you feel?
I can just tell it's of higher quality. Welcome to the new Ohm Show, number 70. It's Wednesday night. It's party time. A jam-packed show. Special guest SVR Gareth is with us by popular request. We finally got him on, and he's with us this evening. We're keeping him up. He's revealed we're keeping him up. He usually falls asleep at this time, but we don't care about that. We're just going to grill him anyway.
Living on the wild side.
Yeah, so Gareth's with us, and we will be chatting to him shortly. Obviously, be chipping in whenever he fancies. We've also got news from the world. We've got news from the vape world. Busy week in the vape world in some ways, and a very quiet week in other ways. We've got new stuff. We've got Master Vapor coming up, new popular feature. Everyone's talking about it. OK Magazine. And Good Housekeeping talking about it quite a lot on their Twitter page. So we've got that coming up as well as a few other bits. We've got a few other extra
it was trending, wasn't it, Master Vapes on Monday? Trended.
Yeah, it was.
23 minutes spent trending.
You'd be surprised if you look at the stats. Yeah, there's quite a lot of buzz around Master Vapor. So that's coming up. At around 12 minutes to 10. So, John, what are you vaping? What are you drinking?
I am vaping on. I'm still vaping on the Whirl S, actually. The coil is still going. I'm trying to see if I can break the coil. This is week 3, 1 coil.
How many millilitres? Oh, you're on 50 mg.
50 milligrams, so I only fill it up once a day. So 2 mil a day for 3 weeks. Not bad, though.
So 24 mil.
21 times 3. 63.
Well, that's a lot.
I think it's not bad.
That's a good coil.
Yeah, I think it's great. And that's got the cleanest thing I can think of. One of them, I put MoMA in there. And I've got 50 milligram in this as well. It's lemon crack. And a Dvar on top of the Chroma R. It is hotter than shit. I should have put a fan in this fucking room.
Not warm.
Yeah, it's quite warm.
Yes, that's what I'm vaping on. I'm drinking a local brew. I don't know if anyone's heard of it.
Doesn't count.
I've seen it on pub somewhere.
I've drunk it about a million times. So, Ghost Ship by Adnams. I do have a couple of life and deaths by vocation
I don't think that counts.
as well. What do you mean?
I
As
don't
what?
think it counts as local. It's a national brewery, isn't it? I don't think it counts. If you happen to live near the
I
plant
do live
that
near
makes-
Southwold.
if
Yeah,
you,
I do.
If you happen to live near the plant that makes Foster's and 4X, I don't think that,
Yeah.
I don't think that's a
Oh,
local
that's still
brew.
going.
Yeah, I don't know actually, but I don't think you could consider that a local brew.
I can. Yeah. Okay.
No, but
It says Suffolk on
so
it.
if you live next to the brewery that makes Foster's,
Yeah, so like you can start
You could
talking
still call
Australian
that-
and everything.
okay.
I don't think it even says Suffolk on it.
You mean to say that John lives in Tadcaster? That's where Foster's brewed.
It is
Yeah.
actually.
It's brewed in two places. One's in Wales, isn't it, and one's in Tadcaster.
I don't even know where the fuck they make this. I've no idea.
Exactly. So it's not like you went to your local boutique.
But I could have. That's the main point. I could have
You
gone
can go
there
to
with
any
a bucket.
supermarket and get Ghost Ship.
But I could have got there with a bucket and said, "Fill this motherfucker up," and they'd have done it.
How? You don't know where it is?
No, I can't. Where is it? That doesn't say, mate. Doesn't say. They do make it at Fitzwilliam in Dublin as well. Brewed and packed in England, though. It says so. You know.
I know where Richards has come from. Is it Carlsberg?
Yeah, that's what I knew he was going to do.
Oh, spoilers.
It's in the shop, that end. Well, it's
It's
not a
a local.
spoiler.
I've got a local
Yeah,
drop
it's
tonight.
not. Local?
Local Danish Pilsner.
Yeah, see? But you do that every time, so I'm fine to say local. Fuck you.
Fine.
Local Danish Pilsner that's owned by Tetley, Carlsberg, Heineken now.
Well, it is brewed near me then.
Lovely job.
Because
Lovely job.
Tetley's is like 8 miles away.
Yeah, nothing gets brewed there anymore. It's all Burton-on-Trent, Matt.
All right.
Majority of beers are actually brewed in Burton-on-Trent. Cause,
What do
Carling,
they do at that Tetley plant
Carlsberg,
then? Just smooth.
Marston's. Say again.
What do they do at that Tetley plant on?
Reckon you
Elm
can,
Road?
do you reckon you can hold the show for 5 minutes? Because my wife just said, "Can you pop in with 2 seconds? I'll be back."
Yeah, go on. We're talking about where we're away.
Yeah, we'll talk about Tetley's Brewery later.
Talk about Tetley Brewery.
The-
You mean
the-
laugh?
Do you know the brewery near White Rose Centre?
Yeah, that's a distribution centre.
Or is it purely distribution? Because it has the big old drum.
Yeah, well, the big dome there used to be called Tingley Tit.
Oh, right.
It used to have a couple of mates of mine, a bit older than me, actually painted it red. So it looked like, yeah. No, that's a distribution centre. There's been quite a few times where when I had a pub in Leeds, I picked a 32-gallon keg of Tetley Smooth up to take it to a pub in Leeds, and well, let's just say it nearly broke the suspension on the car.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of Tetley Smooth.
Yeah, Tetley's got bought out by Carlsberg many moons ago, and what they did straight away was they shut the plant down, flattened it. Half of its housing, some of its car parking. They're doing something with
There's
it.
an office block there as well, isn't there? 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a radio station there.
Yeah. They made the distribution centre up at Tingley, so the beer moved down to Burton-on-Trent,
Right,
and that's when the taste of Tetley's just changed.
right. My dad still gets the. Do you remember Tetley Mixed?
Tetley
Wait.
Mild?
Where you could get half of Tetley Mild and half Tetley Dark. And
Imperial.
people used to have it as a pint mixed.
Yeah.
My dad still does. His bowling club still has those pumps, so he still gets a pint of mixed.
Nice.
Which is
Was
like
that-
30 years out of date.
I say, last time I tried Tetley's, I just took a mouthful of it and just went, nope.
These things do change, don't they? So there's loads under that umbrella now, then, isn't there? Carlsberg, Tetley, all the varieties, Heineken.
Heineken own the lot now. Heineken bought them all out last year. I think.
Oh, right, so the official owner is Heineken.
Yeah, official owners Heineken, Punch Taverns, Enterprise Taverns, which, in my experience with them, is they take your money and kick you out, and then sell it on auction to the cheapest bidder.
All right.
They've closed down more pubs than any other holding company in the world.
Right, there aren't any around here.
So,
Yeah, I'm drinking Carlsberg Pilsner. If anyone's missed that fact, vaping on the lemon Madeira and Fantasia Mango.
That's been out of a few years, that Fantasia, hasn't it?
I didn't know. Because if you do this, it's pretty obvious what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know this juice had become accepted. Is that, I don't know if that's the right word, but like all the vape shops that I like and respect stock this now. So it's almost like it's broken through that barrier of, ooh, is that a bit naughty?
I say, last time I bobbed into a brick and mortar that were in Ossett, which is a million miles away from Wakefield. I think that was about 2017. I bobbed in there, and they had that on the shelves.
Yeah.
So it's been about a bit.
Yeah, my two favourite brick and mortars both stock it. So because I used to not show it, but now it's like, oh well, fine.
Yeah, it's okay now.
So for some reason, it's okay now. So yeah, Fantasia Mango, Screamer, Reaver, OG Recoil on the Gua 21, and then the Rabbit on the Gaia.
Got two of them.
Yeah, on my setups. What, a Gaia or a Rabbit?
The Gaia. I got
two. Are yours coming off here?
What? Oh yes. From opening out of the box, the limited editions ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 0029 on one of them.
Oh, nice.
I contacted EC1 and said, I've got it out of the box. It's squeaky. Like, really? It's squeaky? I thought, yeah, the front's loose.
Yeah.
Well, if you send it back to us, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it matter? Because it's a limited edition and I've got 0029.
Yeah, it comes with spares as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm. What are you vaping on? What are you drinking?
I'm on Oxford Velocity.
Oh, yeah.
Kindly gifted to me by Dean the Devil Vapor in Oxford before I became a
Top bloke who was on last week.
I believe so. I'm also on the Vapex A1 tank, which Vapex kindly sent to me because they sent me the silver one to review because nobody else in the UK had reviewed it. And as thanks, they sent me the black one, which runs on the Geisha S coils. Not the Geisha S, the Geisha 1 and the Geisha 1.5 coils.
Can't get over those purple O-rings.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the purple O-rings, but that's what they go with.
It's a bold shout, isn't it?
It is. But it uses the same coils as the Geisha.
Right.
And I've had this coil in now for 2 weeks. And it's still going strong.
Yeah, fair, but that's all that matters, really.
And in that, I've got another big bottle downstairs because it's my recipe, so I can make it whenever the chup I want. Triple Reborn, version 6, which is version 2 is available at Flavor Boss, which is the company that I sold the recipe to in 2017 before it won it. Well, it came fourth in Easy Click Awards.
Wow.
The three companies above it were Riot Squad, I Love VG, and Dinner Ladies. So as far as I'm concerned, that's one for DIY.
Wow. So what juice is that again? Sorry.
Triple Reborn.
Right. And you're on V6, but that's your own.
Yeah.
That's your own.
My own
alchemy.
Mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. That's cool.
What's this? Who's who?
He's a bit of a mixologist.
An
award-winning
Triple Reborn in here.
Ah, right.
It's raspberry ripple ice. Well, it's a rich Cornish raspberry ripple ice cream with strawberry syrup top.
Very nice.
What are you drinking? Sorry, did I miss that?
Drinking
Punk IPA.
Hazy Jane.
Oh, Hazy Jane. Good, smooth.
Hazy Jane is obviously very popular because they've done so many versions of it.
I'm a big fan of
with Punk and all. There's a double Hazy Jane, there's a triple Hazy Jane. Same with Punk.
The original Hazy was 6.5, wasn't it? 6.5. That's 5, that one.
5.
Yeah,
it's water.
But it works in this weather, I have to admit.
Yeah,
the only thing that hits it is beer. There's nothing no around it. Just drink beer. Fuck it.
Well, on my home, I was going to call it Ossett Brewery, but they were shut.
Yeah, that's
your Ossett Brewery.
That's one of my favourite. That's one of my favourites. Ossett Brewery.
Ossett Brewery's around the corner.
Yeah. My regular was one of the original places that stopped Ossett. Rat and Ratchet in Huddersfield.
Oh, so
on Chapel Hill. Yeah, that was one of the first places. But then.
Is that Head of Steam?
No, it's down from there.
Right. I'm going to say I know Head of Steam used to stock it.
So is that all you vaping this evening? Just that one?
just the one. I've got a couple on the side.
No, fair play. We're a fan of that.
I would say I have got one, but it's not playing out tonight. My 20mm pod kit.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I hope they do. I'm shit at playing out.
That's good. I've never heard it. Hey.
Yeah, 20mm pod kit. I'm on a God V4 with my first item I reviewed, the Titan V2. I do like the Titan V1. That's why I got the Titan V2.
Okay, John, were you finished or were
Yes,
you?
I was done. I was finished. I was finished and about to pass over to Gareth. There.
Well, we're all done then. What were you drinking? Just for my own personal. Oh,
Me?
you're drinking Ghost Ship. That was the whole
Ghost
point.
Ship, son.
That was the whole point.
That's why the wife rang.
Right.
Said he's taking the piss. It's local. That's what I did. I got in. He said he understands now. She said no. He doesn't.
What were you called in for?
It was just something to do with the neighbours. They were just asking me if I could help move, block the cars. They're trying to park a removal van outside.
They're not the smallest of vehicles.
No. We don't have parking here. This is what I said to our neighbour. I honestly, if anybody lives rurally, if you've got a bit of road outside your house that's not your road, the thing you need to get over straight away, don't become that person. Don't become that dick who looks out the window and goes, "Oh, fucking hell. They're parking in the bit." Like, it's not yours. You just have to not create that thing in your head. It's not your fucking road.
Yeah,
calm down.
My dad used to always say, "Car is king." If it's not double yellow and you put your car there, you're the king.
Yeah,
fuck them.
Someone parked out front of mine over there. It's perfect parking only though, so I've got a driveway. The park there, no permit. So I drove around it. I went up on the curb, went over. I drive a pub before. Went round it. When I got back, it was still there, so I reversed back round it. And by that time, one of the traffic wardens were floating about. A rarity these days.
Yeah.
Trek, is this your car? No, mate. Why? Well, I ain't got a permit. Chicky tick. I've had to.
Yeah. That's fine.
Use it as a roundabout earlier.
And the other thing, if there's a drop curb,
that's different. Though.
That's a totally different thing.
That's different, isn't it?
If you got a drop curb or it's permit only, fine. But here it's not. And I just think you're mad, like crazy. We went to go see a cottage once, and it was right down the road from a shop. And she was going, "This is the front room. Just through there is the kitchen." Oh, for fuck's sake! No, that's it. It's done for the day now because he's parked there. And you're like, "Oh, fucking hell, your life is shit." You fucking looking out the window.
Major drama.
Who cares? Get over it.
Right, John. What's caught your eye in the real world of news? What do you think about Liverpool losing its status as a city of heritage?
It's really tough, right? Because there are some points that the commission have, which I do think are right. That stadium is fucking horrible. There's no way around that. It is
Anfield.
Everton. It's Everton.
It's Everton's.
Everton's not Liverpool though.
No.
No. It's a subsidy. It's like a subsection of Liverpool, but it's not Liverpool.
It was within the area.
It must have been within their catchment of a.
It was.
It must be like the council area or something.
It was in the area that was part of this European City of Culture, wasn't it? But I think it's a bit of bollocks because it is one of the oldest cities in the world. So I was a bit. Things like the Liver building are off the chart. You know, I think it's grade one.
I wonder why they need to do this.
Well, they did do too many though, didn't they? It was well known that they just went round just saying that's one.
But once you are one,
yeah, to take it off you seems pretty shitty.
And to have it taken off by China.
Yeah, they had the meeting in China, didn't they? Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I thought it was a European thing.
Sorry, not European City of Culture. It wasn't, was it? It was a UNESCO.
World Heritage.
UNESCO World Heritage. Yeah.
But the architecture hasn't really changed since it got that approval.
Apart from that fucking stadium, which is a piece of shit. I mean, it is fuck ugly.
That's classic Liverpool that ultimately the blame falls at Everton's door.
It's odd. You would do that in London. Like you get.
I thought it was more to do with culture and music and.
No,
city of culture
what the city has created, like the Titanic and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, city of culture is given to the biggest dump going. Yeah. And they throw a shed load of money in and say, well, you've got 10 years to fix it. So Liverpool won it, and in 10 years, the proper turned it around, so it actually, it's decent in some places.
Like Manchester.
Yeah, Manchester won it.
Yeah.
Turned that around quite a lot.
Yeah.
Hull's now got it, and they're scratching their asses trying to work out how on earth they can get a nuclear bomb in.
I do love that accent, though. I do love the Hull accent's amazing.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
You want to get JP on then?
They've got the Sea Life Centre, haven't they?
Yeah. The deep.
The
It's not even,
Yeah, I'm
it's
alright
not
with
even that deep.
No, and
You know when you get to the top and you can actually see it? It's
it's because it's magnified glass, isn't it? The whole
yeah.
thing.
convex or concave glass.
Yeah. I'm quite glad we don't do that thing in England they do in America. You know where they go, we've got a swimming pool, we've got a killer whale. Richard's missing it. See, he would have laughed, but he missed it.
Oh, but,
Yeah, we've got a swimming pool, we've got a great white shark.
Stick it in. Yeah, every time you see that, like I always wonder why. Whenever somebody says, "Oh, we went to SeaWorld, Florida," why? I got a killer whale. Don't do that. Why'd you go there? It's like it's the most fucking mean thing in the world.
You want to go Free Willy? No. That's a knocking shop just down the road.
That is true. That is in Hull, actually, and that's how they got the UNESCO World Heritage.
Jeff Bezos firing himself
Into
into space.
You really
with a massive
fucking
cock.
hate it.
I don't agree with the way he runs his business.
I did a joke in group chat where I said, everybody make a cup of tea right now because the water pressure is about to drop. Every Amazon employee in the world is about to go for a piss. Do you know what? He did it with all the grace of a brick as well. It was such a... Richard Branson is a tax avoiding, NHS suing fuckhead. And I'll be honest, when it took off, I kind of hoped it exploded. But it didn't. But at least it looked quite cool.
Yeah.
But when Jeff did it, when I saw it, I was like, fuck off. There's no way that fucking steel dome tent is the... Oh, it is. Oh, my God. And then he went off as his penis-shaped thing flew off into the sky. And
Yeah, I saw that.
It was terrible. It was so shit. It looked really like crap.
My thing with Jeff is, first of all, it's not really his money that he's flying to space with. When you look at the way the world gives him grants and tax breaks to run Amazon the way he runs it, it's our money. It's taxpayers' money that he's firing into space. And then secondly, Amazon is just the most inhumane employer on the planet. Did you see the thing this week? They're sacking members of staff via an app.
Oh, that sucks, doesn't it?
They're making people install an app that literally just rolls up and goes, "You're fired." I mean, that's fucked.
When the G7 got together, it's like that. You know, what was really savage? You know, when they did the corporation tax thing for big tech, and they basically all sat around a table. I mean, I'm no fan of anyone in that fucking room, but they all sat around at a table and they went, "We need to think of a tax, and we're going to really hit the big boys hard." But it's not like they're not stupid. They knew that. So Amazon runs on volume, not margin. So they sell millions of items, but their margins are slim. So they're going to pay with the new G7 tax thing. They're going to pay virtually nothing. Still, they just totally avoid it.
At the same time as G7, all the big CEOs of all these companies were also meeting.
Yeah,
and it makes you wonder, like, who was really setting the rules for the world at that point.
It was so weird because when Lil Rishi Sunak popped out in his Gap Kid suit and he said, "That is perfect. That was the kind of thing I was talking about." Mate, everyone else in there, the other G6 reckoned you were being a whiny penis for the last 3 days. So I don't know what you're talking about. And then when you came out and said, "That's what I was thinking about," you do your own budget, you little short fuck. You could have done it in April. Why are you waiting? I'll see what the other guys reckon. You don't need to. And when they say, "Oh, there's this corporation tax," just call it Amazon tax. Yeah. Fucking smash it.
I know there were a virgin tax, weren't there? Richard Branson used to get a special discount for his nice little island in the middle of the Pacific.
Oh yeah, no, it's like Blair. I mean, I had no issue with saying Tony Blair set up all these cunts. Lord Jeffrey of Tesco's, fucking
Sainsbury's and
just wanked them off like the computers for schools. Collect 3 billion tokens for a quid's worth of computers, and we'll let you build as many as you want. What about Monopoly? Are we not doing the Monopoly Commission anymore? Fuck it, everyone wants a Tesco. You need a Tesco with another one.
Yeah, they need to look at how they run.
I don't think there's a Monopolies Commission anymore because years ago.
What's the point?
There is.
Well, years ago, Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Asda. There were a couple of other companies in there. They're all getting
Setting up
told
the
by the
prices.
Monopolies Commission you can't have more than so many percent in the UK. And now it's got to the stage where, well, there's not many town-stroke cities you can go to where there isn't one of the above, or there's 900 Lidls in the road to the next town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. It's just a ridiculous. I just think that there's. It's fucking nuts. Like the big corporations just piss on everybody.
Bring us back to vaping, John.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but it was lockdown Freedom Day.
Oh, Freedom
So how
Day.
you Freedom Day? Freedom Day was on Monday.
Freedom, been the
Freedom.
opposite word.
Or
Take off
it
your
can
mask day.
it can be pronounced Freedom Day as well. I've heard that
Freedom
pronounced that.
Day.
One thing I was quite embarrassed. I felt a bit embarrassed by people my age moaning about the kids, like going, "This bloody kids going out, it's going down the club." How old are you? Shorty, man. Fucking why are you talking like that? Going down is in the rules. Yeah, they can do it. Why are
Every
you moaning
single
at 'em?
catchphrase from Dad's Army is applicable to this whole thing. It's like, we're all doomed, you silly boy.
Yeah. But they were going, they're in those nightclubs all sweaty, they ain't got their masks on, not doing. They don't have to. That's not in the fucking rules. Why are you asking them to make up fucking rules?
You know why they've done it this way, don't you? Schools are out.
Of course, yeah, but it isn't down. People were saying, oh, they haven't got the morals and all this.
It's
Fuck off!
it's-
I've seen you drinking down the park. I saw you
It's a temporary thing.
necking Mad Dog in a park toilet. How are you saying fucking listen to the morals?
It's like the summer of love, isn't it? It's the summer of freedom. We're just
Fucking
gonna have
fingering sweaty Susan from fucking class 6. You're in there. Don't
Yeah,
tell
but
me
if
about
you're in a
morals.
support bubble,
I would half expected him to say fingering sweaty Susan Boyle then.
Could have been back in
haven't
the
seen
day.
her for years. I'm waiting for James Corden to star her in the latest.
I think she's
blockbuster.
isolated in a different country now.
Did anybody do that thing when they're about to watch something and like the credits start rolling and it says like whatever director Bob Stablets, starring Kate Winslet, James. Oh fucking! It said James Corden. Turn it off. Fuck! Watching that
Yeah,
fucking
I did
idiot.
that in the cinema with Peter Rabbit.
Did you?
It came up Corden right across the thing. I went, oh fuck! So I hadn't seen the first one. I hadn't seen the first one, so I didn't know. And I turned to my wife, and she went, "Yeah."
I like that. She looked at you, Abba Malteser. I know. They had there's a thing on Netflix about Pol Pot, not the Cambodian despot.
Warlord, deathmonger.
No, not him. not Pol Pot. Paul Potts.
Yeah, I watched it.
As soon as I saw it, it said playing Paul Potts. James Corden. Fuck! I'd rather fucking
I'd rather
shove a
watch Pol Pot.
cactus up my
They were
arse.
really sneaky because it was lovely.
Girls. Somebody screenshot that.
Oh, here we go. It's back.
Hello.
Like, sneaky. Mackenzie Crook. Yes.
The thumbnail was sneaky because Mackenzie Crook's lovely. Anyway,
Yeah, that-
real vaping news,
Right,
John.
okay.
Bring us back to real, actual vaping
Sorry,
news.
getting a sweat on. Talking about
Oh, it's
James
warm,
Corden.
it's warm.
Talking about sweaty, James Corden. Here we go. Right, we're on fucking chat.
Somebody did mention in chat saying, consider the day before freedom there was 356,000 people in Silverstone. Consider the day before Wembley. That was
yeah.
as well, which
I
was
agree.
final.
Yeah.
It's one of my friends who's a big football fan said the era was letting the football happen, which it's like the Olympics at the moment. Anyway, the Herald Sun. It's a bit American at the moment because vaping seems to be American at the moment.
What's the headline?
The headline is North Carolina. After North Carolina settles with Juul, the state's largest school system joins the anti-vaping effort. Wake County schools will file a lawsuit against the e-cigarette giant Juul, joining a nationwide fight to curb vaping addiction in students. North Carolina has already won a $40 million settlement against Juul, the first state to challenge and force change in how Juul targets teens with its marketing. Not anymore. But hundreds of other lawsuits remain, and Wake adds weight to the anti-youth vaping effort as the first school district in North Carolina to take legal action. They are just going to blow holes in the Juul boat until it sinks.
Who cares about Joel?
Oh, I fucking don't know this shit, but
They are the worst. One of the worst vape devices I've
know.
ever come across in my life.
I don't know if a line has to be drawn somewhere though. Like, do the school get a say?
there needs to be something where you just say, well, yeah, but at what point does it become a complete waste of public time? You don't need to have the hearing. It's fucking pointless.
But what does a school get a say?
Does that?
Yeah.
If their argument is that Juul advertise their product at their children,
That's what they're doing, yeah.
then that's a marketing standards issue.
Yep.
And it should be hit head on at a government level.
But they just don't do things the way we do.
So what's that? They'll sue Juul, and they'll get a shed load of money for it.
But then every single school
And then they'll
district
go
in the
down to the
country
corner
can-
shop and buy a couple of thousand Marlboro.
Yeah.
And we know it isn't working as well. We know the fight against flavours isn't working. Or get across the board, it's not working. There's another bit coming up anyway about that. But the rate of e-cigarette use among high school students rose to 20.9% in 2019. Well, no, it didn't, but that's just your bit. 8 years after the product was first introduced. Big, 8 years later, bang.
Yeah, that's slow motion marketing.
Yeah, slow motion marketing. Among middle schoolers, the rate topped 6%. In Wake County, the school system saw e-cigarette violations rise by more than 1,000% between 2016-17 and 2018-19. What? So when they were on the actual open market, they weren't buying them at all in 1994. Look at that, no one.
They weren't buying them at all in 2020 because they weren't at school.
Yeah.
It's gone up 1,000%.
Yeah, school shootings have gone right down, haven't they? That's one thing I've noticed.
Not
They've
in
really
Wake
got a grip
County.
of that.
I did see somewhere, because I'm sorry to butt in, but
you said go for your life.
Yeah, your schools and e-cigs. I've heard a rumour. Well, when I say I've heard a rumour, it's more actual truth than it is a rumour that geek vape bars are getting banned.
Geek vape
Because
oh, they shouldn't have come out. I do the disposables.
So
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
disposable one.
it's not a case of Greta Thunberg getting on a high step. It's a case of apparently a lot of kids are taking them into school. Well, they won't be taking them into schools now. They're finishing, but they've been taking them into schools, and people think they're a highlighter pen. They're not.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
because they're popular in that sector. We talked about them on the show, but it's really difficult. They're 20 milligram, aren't they? You can get a 20 milligram
Nick salts.
Nick salts, yeah. But they,
I don't know if they've deliberately disguised them though.
I don't think they have. That's just the colour scheme they've gone with.
Yeah,
They
if you
did
get a banana
bring
one,
out-
it's yellow.
they
Yeah,
bring out-
same as
they
their
brought,
bottles.
But Geek Vape brought out a vape pen that looked like a pen.
But Geek Vape brought out their bottles used to always be luminous, like highlighter colours, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were like green, blue, and everything else. So.
Well, just look at
But if that's
ages.
what schools need to
get
do,
it in.
that's fine by me.
Yeah, fuck it. Oh, they should be banning anyway.
If you look at Aegis Legend, there's about 19 different colours of it, and they're all day glow.
Yeah.
Phil Oates says kids aren't hooked on flavours; they're hooked on nicotine. They'll just start smoking. Because we did. I did. It's a bit more. I think maybe it's more difficult. I don't know. But I'm not.
There's no kind of rationale in that respect, though. There is nothing that says every kid that's vaping in a school now.
Oh, no,
would be
definitely
smoking
not.
in a school now. Because that's true, though.
I would have been. If
you're that way now
14.
as a kid, you're either vaping or smoking. I'd rather they were vaping.
Yeah. If I was 14 now, I would be vaping and the more illegal and the more whatever you make it, the fucking cooler it is as well. And that's the other thing you've got to be really wary of. I've got no. And the other thing is, I was talking about people when the end of lockdown happened. Fucking listening to mates of mine getting on their moral fucking high horse and saying, "Oh, these kids." I saw you buying cigarettes out of fucking pub machines at 11 years old. I saw you drinking Mad Dog 2020 at like 14.
Buying off the ice cream, man.
Shut your fucking face. You haven't got moral high ground, mate. You really haven't. I think it's got, you need to say to kids, oh, don't fucking do that. And also trying to say to them, it's an addiction. It's fucking dreadful. I've wasted 20 years of my fucking life doing it. That's a massive thing. But
For
don't
me, the
pretend
headline
you
always
didn't
just
do
reads
it.
the same. The headline to me always reads, 30 years later, teenagers still behaving like teenagers.
Yeah, it's true.
They still are, though, aren't they?
Bloody kids doing stuff that they've always done forever.
I still feel like I'm well, I still feel like I'm 18, not 18 still, not a long time ago, but I still feel like I'm still 18, and it's just my body's fucked.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah.
I'm always more and more surprised when something else goes wrong with a unit that my consciousness came in, where I go, oh fucking hell, my feet really hurt in the morning, and then you
Get out of bed, fall to the floor. Oh,
yeah, that's just what happens. Oh, fine.
Yeah. How do you reboot this?
Yeah, this is shit. Something is fucked up.
When I was a kid, I think I was 11 or 12, up at secondary school. Ice cream man.
Yeah.
I'll have a 10p 99, Mr. Whippy. I'll have a Lambert and Butler, which were £1, and bit of Fet, please. Yeah, he got kicked off school a couple of years later.
Yes, it seems.
But it was selling Fet. It was selling MD 2020. It was selling cigs. There wasn't much you couldn't buy from Ice Cream Man.
That was a big thing in Yorkshire.
He probably now lives in Spain on the profits of the kids buying stuff.
It's crazy in prison. Yeah, it's crazy money.
I remember when I did get COVID the first time. When I got COVID original last year, and one of the side effects I had vertigo, which wasn't a thing, and the second thing I had was foot pain, which nobody spoke about. And I just thought it was an old age thing. I thought I'd got like gout in both feet at the same time. I'd like get up, and then my feet would just go, no, give it a minute. And I'd kind of hobble off the toilet, and they'd come alive slowly. And it was only later that they said, do you have foot pain? You might have COVID. I thought, oh.
Well, I think I had it at Christmas 2019.
Okay.
The only way I can describe it was I don't suffer from headaches normally. I had the world's biggest headache. I don't suffer from hangovers either, so having a headache, that's definitely bigger. So massive headache, felt like flu symptoms, but I was actually having to remember how to breathe in and breathe out. And no word of a lie, I felt like I was about 90, not stone, 90-year-old. Every single joint movement was an absolute ball ache.
You probably did. It was here. It was here before it was registered as being here.
Yeah.
And my mate 3 weeks prior had come back from Shenzhen.
Oh,
okay. What's next?
Next one, filter. Hundreds of vape companies plead with FedEx to reverse delivery ban. On July 12th, more than 400 vape companies urged FedEx to reverse a policy that prohibits the company from shipping and receiving vaping products. Together, these small businesses signed a letter organised by the American Vaping Association that insists the mail carrier's delivery ban will prevent consumers from obtaining the vapes and e-cigarettes that have used to stop smoking. FedEx's current rules do not allow for the shipment of vaping products from business to business or directly to vapers, and many of whom have had difficulty obtaining them if they live in rural areas. So this was an idea that was spawned from the idea that FedEx would stop delivering to people personally. They thought, well, okay, what we'll do is we'll have a sort of unity, and we'll ship between, do a click and collect service. So you get shit shipped to your local shop, and then you pick it up from there. And the problem they had was they gave away the game early, because you have to they were discussing it openly.
Yeah.
They were saying, well, when the fucking thing comes in, we're going to do this. And they added a line before they did it, before they okayed the bill. Add a line, can't do that either. And it really reminded me of when we changed when the tobacco directive came in over here, the TPDR. We already, there was a lot of buzz in the background about short fills, and we knew what we were going to do. And one of the big things was stopping people talking about it. It was like, don't worry about it, we got it. And they were like, you could just put it in a big, shut the fuck up. Like, don't do it.
Put it in a big bottle.
If they fucking changed the fucking rule, we're fucked. Like, we'd already read it. Like, because we would, and in the background, people were doing checks, and we were making sure that we could do it. And we were talking to, there were some really helpful companies who were doing it, who were chatting back, creators and stuff like that, and everyone was just swapping information. But one of the big things was, do not write any of this in public. No, don't do it in forums, nothing without membership. Don't do it on Facebook
magazine, for God's sake.
Yeah, just for fuck's sake, don't say it. And in America they didn't do it, which I totally get, because it's a much vast nation, and they gave away the game really. The letter, it says, is something of a last-ditch attempt, a desperate ask. Tobacco harm reduction advocates, vapers and manufacturers have been waiting tensely since December 2020, when the then President Donald Trump signed a COVID-19 relief bill that updated the Prevent All Cigarette Trafficking Act, PACT. They added it, didn't they, to the bill, you know? So it was part of the sign this and you sign the whole thing. That's such a dirty piece of shit. Like, it really was.
That's like the British government, to be honest.
But it's done that way of doing it, but it still has to be, it'd have to be on the white paper. It still have to have a first reading and a second reading. It'd have to be on those readings. Then it has to go to Lords and then it has to go to the Commons. So it's not like you can, the Act can't be, it's not such a sneaky fuck way to do it. I agree with you, like the Crime and Justice Bill that's just passed is a horrible piece of shit. It's got loads of stuff in there like about protest, but it's also got things like rape sentences and the way that rape hearings are held and child abuse and stuff, and it's all in one. And that is a horrible piece of shit. But to be fair, it was masterminded by what is, I don't know what she is. What is Priti Patel? Does anybody know? Have they done a test? I don't know.
In the backside.
Foreign Secretary.
I can't. That's the word. That created that bill, but it passed because well, there's a massive Tory majority, but it's a shame.
Pretty standard. You put in some nice bits, you put in some bad bits. That's
it was a piece of shit.
It's up to the Lords to reject it if they're not happy.
Yes, but that was that. It doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere, and they're going to fan. And it's really sad for the American vapors because.
Is there a courier still just hanging in there?
No.
There? No. Okay.
No, they're all napped off.
Well, there is a way, but I'm not saying it.
And what's the official? What's the
Don't
official
say it,
line?
because otherwise it'll be axed next week.
What is the official line from FedEx as to why this has happened?
Rules have changed. They've changed their rules. There's
Yeah,
not
but
actually.
why have they changed? Have they said why they've changed the rules?
To protect minors.
Right. Okay. Because they can't be asked checking people's ID on the door.
But it's bollocks because it's going to a vape shop. But it doesn't matter. It's just bullshit. They're just not. I don't know what they're doing.
Wasn't DHL one of the big? I know FedEx is big in America, but wasn't it TNT, DHL?
DHL fell at the same time as FedEx. So
Yeah,
they just went with it straight away.
Yeah.
UPS went with it straight away as well. They literally just went. USPS, the American Postal System, they were the first ones. Well, Trump fucking hated USPS. He hated the idea. He thought that US taxpayers were paying for USPS, which is kind of bollocks. Like here, you know, Royal Mail. It kind of works as a weird socialist experiment. Royal Mail. It's really stupid that lots of people don't click when you buy a stamp. There cannot possibly be that there's a single cost, right? So if I buy a stamp and the postman's got to walk 200 meters to get to me, but there might be a cottage in the middle of fucking nowhere that's 5 miles away, but the stamps to them cost the same amount. So it's actually quite socialist that we all pay the same amount of money, nobody fucking moans. But they have the thing in the US. But Donald Trump's thing was basically, oh fucking hell, you're paying for other people's mail. Of course you fucking are, you donkey dick.
That was how they attacked Obamacare.
So Royal Mail got off by Consignia, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was the thing with it, and it's a really easy way to do it. Well, as you say, with Obamacare, is the thing of you can convince well people that all other people's shit's not their fault.
That's what they did. They literally went,
exactly
you're paying for someone else's cancer. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like, just be pleased you don't have cancer.
Would you, if you changed it? Because I always think of insurance as a bet. Insurance is always a bet. Doesn't matter how you put it. And so is bank loans are a bet as well. You've got to know who the bookie is and who the punter is, and that's it. So in terms of health insurance, if you had a bookie come and see you and he went, how much do you want to bet you're never going to get cancer? What? Well, I don't want to fucking do that. Come on, son. That's a really weird fucking thing to do. I don't know.
Imagine you don't get cancer and you still have to pay.
You're still paying for him.
Forget it. Obama, get him out.
But
He's
that's
not even American.
They keep warping with the NHS as well. They keep saying to people like, oh, you're paying for this, that, and you're going, whoa, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Fucking idiot. Like the bank.
What's the last one then?
Okay. It's from Inside Sources.
Oh yeah.
The headline is this: to eradicate youth vaping, we need only copy the UK. Campaign for tobacco-free kids. In 2006, Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids President Matt Myers said, "The challenge to me is not to eliminate smoking, but the death and disease of smoking. If you had a product that addicted 45 million people and killed none of them, I would take that deal. Then you'd have coffee." Since that infamous quote, vaping has proven itself to be the exact miracle of which he spoke, with science studies showing it to be at least 95% safer than smoking. Now that vaping has been shown to be over 6 times as effective at helping smokers quit than government-approved methods, it begs the question, why aren't our public health organisations and politicians embracing vaping? Unfortunately, anti-vaping lobbyists have since changed their tune and are now lobbying to ban every product they once accurately compared to coffee. Despite the fact that youth vaping is down by 33% in the last year, yeah, you might want to go back to what Gareth said of why that might be. Marking the second year of double-digit declines, the so-called public health advocates continue their quest to force over 9 million adult vapers back to smoking, which will inevitably kill 2/3 of them. We don't have to rely on statistical analysis to confirm that banning flavoured vaping products has dire consequences. We only need to look at states that have already made that mistake. Massachusetts banned flavoured vaping products in 2020 and a flourishing black market emerged. Black markets have also appeared in New York, New Jersey as well. This is the real crux of the thing. Based on these numbers, we can estimate that a federal ban on flavoured vaping products will result in a black market consisting of 6.1 million customers, generating 12 billion 729 million a year for organised criminals.
I don't know why. I know. Well, I do know why America's going mental about vaping. It's because they're not getting any tax off it, and it's also because the tobacco companies pretty much own the government. But why ban it? If they didn't ban it, and they taxed it, there'd be none of this shit.
Yeah,
but it's the tobacco companies being greedy again.
We've kind of mused that a bit on the show. It's definitely.
I'm sorry, newbie here.
No, it's fine. It is. I think that's a definite option going forward, especially in countries where they've been really open about the fact that they can't afford to lose the tax money.
Sorry, I was actually somebody just said that Royal Mail's a private company, not a public. I never said it wasn't. I was talking about the pricing.
Yeah.
It's how mail goes to the Shetland Islands, but they don't pay 50 quid a stamp.
It comes from public ownership, which is very unique in a way.
Yeah, and it's just the whole pricing system is just.
CPD is very similar as well. If I want to send something to say Hull, it costs, let's say, £5. If I want to send it to Isle of Wight, it still costs me £5.
Yeah,
the whole point. It's across the line, isn't it?
But nobody cares. That's the whole
nobody
point.
gives a.
But yeah, anyway, they're saying to the Americans, you don't even need to. Whereas before, when we were arguing, back in 2016, when we were doing these things and we were talking, we were saying, look, listen, this really, these studies are bullshit. And if people actually did real studies and you actually looked at society, we don't have to do that now because you can. You can go and bang, like look at this. Like when we were in London the other week, there was lots more smokers in London than there are in Suffolk. Like I rarely see smokers like anywhere. And if you smell a cigarette, I'm like, oh, I'm not one of those people. I don't mind the smell of cigarettes. Fine.
You're not an ex-smoker.
Not one of those fuckers. Yeah. And that's the other one. You don't want to be that guy. But America have got these Germany, France, the UK to look at and say this, and you've also got New Orleans, New York, New Jersey to look at, and Massachusetts, and go, does it work though if you ban that? Oh fuck no, it doesn't work. It's just a really dumb idea.
Yeah, but they have guns over there, so they'll probably shoot you instead of taking you in.
I always tell every time an American friend of mine says they've got a problem with X, I always just tell them to shoot it, because when COVID was raging, and I just went, have you tried shooting it? Yeah, no, fair enough. Give that a go first. Shoot it.
Right, we need to.
It seems a real pity that they can't just say objectively this. Have a look. We'll show you how it works.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Right, we need to talk to Gareth. First time on the show, so we need to ask you some basic questions, really, to find out more about you. I've put a link to Gareth's channel in chat just now. So, what's going on? How long have you been involved in vaping and stuff?
We got to do the normal. We got whoa. We got to do the questions, the legal
Go on, then
questions.
you do the basic questions.
When did you start vaping?
2008.
Tooth of fucking hell! I can't even call you a noob. Well played.
That's a long time.
Were you smoking when you started vaping?
60 Regal a day.
And you've even given me the brand. The man's a pro. The man's a fucking pro.
And at that time, there were £9.42 a packet.
For 20.
Yeah, that's good. So you're smoking that. What flavour did you start on? It's got to be tobacco.
Blueberry. Can't stand it now.
What, in 2008, did you say? They had blueberry in 2008?
Hangsen.
Yeah.
Hangsen.
I didn't start till 2012, and I remember some hanky flavours. I don't remember that. That's pretty cool.
There was tobacco about. There were a lot of tobaccos about. But
Yeah, I remember.
Blueberry about. But I also.
Did you start on a cigarette?
Yeah. I started on the cigarettes, but I also went on to there were a company called TECC. I think they're still going now in Blackburn.
Right.
And they basically did their own version of a cigarette-ish, where it was a battery, a steel tip. You pulled the mouthpiece off, and inside there was like a V shape.
Yeah.
And you just basically bunged a bit of cotton in, and then you just dripped, just a couple of drips, and it was full.
They went on to be one of those people that renamed Innick stuff, didn't they?
I think TECC are still going.
You started vaping before Scott Bonner did.
I don't know who that is. Sorry.
Oh my God! It's the lord of vaping in the UK.
Aidan started before me in 2006.
It's ridiculous. I never met anybody who started. Like, 2012. I very rarely meet people who start before me.
2012, I was mixing my own e-liquid.
Motherfucker. I think I did in 2012, to be fair. I remember when I used to use Apprentice, Perfume's Apprentice.
Perfume, TPA.
Yeah, and they were so inconsistent. They really were bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd take the roof of your mouth off. So what was the first thing you got after a cigarette?
Proper.
Well, after the cigarette with that tech thing.
Yeah.
After that, I kind of went off MTLs because round about that time was when the Suburban War started. That's what I call it, the Suburban War.
Yeah, in 2014.
Yeah, I were on that tech pen for years.
Oh, okay, right. I was thinking, if I tell you what, if this man says Sub-Omen started in 2010.
I was still on that. Still on that blooming pen. I was buying one every second week.
Yeah, they weren't a lot to go at for a couple of years, were they?
Those pens were £40 each.
Yeah,
I'm a Yorkshireman. I'm not chucking it.
Yeah, I've gone back a few times. I bought an Ego T tank in 2012, and when I tell people what it cost, go back, the first order,
about 70, 80 quid.
80 quid,
yeah.
For 2 Ego batteries. You fucker.
2013, I was selling them in one at local pubs. I was getting them in from China for the Ego. It was the Ego T battery with the charger, and I think it were a GSH2 tank, which was one of the first bottom fills.
Right.
No, there were still bottom fills, but it were plastic, and it were plastic.
Yeah.
And it were a GSH2, and the whole lot, boxed and everything, was costing me £3.
Fucking hell.
£3.50. But then when I added on the
here we go, boys. Come on.
From DHL,
make a queue.
Bumped it up to £9, and now we're knocking them out for 40 quid.
So you've always been involved quite heavily in a way.
That's heavy.
In one way or another.
But you didn't
heavily involved with vaping.
Did you watch reviewers? Who was the first reviewer you watched?
God rest his soul. Les Picking.
Les Picking.
Yeah.
Did anybody else? It's so weird because everybody's path splits. That was just it. You just watched Les.
Just Les.
Got you.
But what other aspects of the community did you get involved in? Were you on any of the forums, the old forums? No.
Did you go to any of the shows back then?
So
I was going to go to the Leeds one, but it got cancelled.
Right.
So moving forwards to last sort of year, what's brought you into sort of the YouTube world of things then and stuff?
Persistent begging off other people that I know.
Right. That's a bit like a lot of people start like that. Like Vaping Biker started like that. People asked him to send a video of how you fix things, and how do you sort out this? It's I've got my tank's flooding. How do you fix it? He made a little video, sent it to one person, but ended up putting it up on.
Well, somebody keeps saying that name drop, but I'm gonna have to do it. Really good mate of mine, Paul Blythe, lives in Wakefield. He is the editor of Vapor Magazine.
Yep.
Which is, for anybody who doesn't know, it's not for general public. It's not like Suburban Magazine. It's for retailers. Now he works at the Vapor Works, which used to be called something else before that, but I can't remember what it was called then. But he always used to give me a call if somebody came in with a tank that he didn't know about, and it's like, how do I fix this? He'd be on phone to me. Oh, I've got this person's here with a tank. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. What would you say to do it? Well, try this. Oh, it works. Oh, cheers, thanks, mate. Clunk. And he were always turning around to me. Oh, you need to get into reviewing. You need to get into reviewing. You need to get into reviewing. And then it was December, January. I went over and saw little Danny at home first, and then he just pushed me over the edge. He helped me out massively. He told me how to do it all on the camera. Told me how to do all the editing. I know it's a bit basic and might be borderline cheesy, but I'm learning as I'm going.
Oh yeah, it's a process. You have to start making them, otherwise, you can't just make your own videos for yourself and slowly get better and then suddenly burst onto the scene. You just have to jump in first, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got big feet and a big body, so it's all right.
Yeah, everyone's the same in that respect. What coming into it at this late stage, though, I think that's fair comment.
Yeah, it is.
What are you hoping to get out of it in a way, or has it just become part of your hobby anyway?
Part of my hobby.
Yeah. It's all a bonus, really, isn't it?
If any of my reviews help somebody to buy the item, it's a bonus. If somebody watches one of my reviews and has any questions, serious questions, they can ask me, and I'll answer them back.
Yeah.
If anybody watches one of my reviews and gives up cigs, that's a win for me.
Yeah,
it's all about
100%.
People off the stinky.
Yeah. It is a cliche, but when you start off and it's a big part of your hobby anyway, I think it's true. I think it's 100% true. So, but you're on quite a few live things as well, though, haven't you? You've got your own live thing.
Yeah.
I saw you on something last Sunday. Was it last Sunday?
NUBS.
Yeah.
Northern Union.
Yes.
Which is strange because I think it was about a month beforehand. I was like my first appearance.
Yeah. So when are all the things on that you do then for lives for anyone watching that wants to jump in?
Stuck in the Swamp is Wednesday, roughly about 7:50 to 7:45. Sometimes it goes on longer, sometimes it's shorter. I try to have it. There's normally me and Savage Simon, who's somewhere in chat, just having a bit of a chinwag. And recently it's been a bit drama fest, but we're killing it.
You drama festing?
I've been trolled.
What's happened? Oh, you were getting trolled, are you?
Been trolled by a Canadian. And then, Alan?
I said just block and move on.
Stuck in the Swamp number 7 is absolutely hilarious. He'd done one of my videos and I took all snippets of what he said and I kind of like inserted it into my show.
Yeah, because Savage has got a show as well.
Yes. It's Saturday night. When I first second time I went and saw Danny.
I'll put a link to his in the chat as well.
Right about the time when I was just getting the Steam Crate Titan 2, that's when Danny kind of like pushed me over the edge. Simon turned around and says, "Oh, I'm thinking about doing a show." on a Saturday night because pubs were shut. They were at that time. Would you mind coming out? And at that time, he didn't know me from Adam. Seriously, didn't. And he's like, I'm just going to get a few reviewers and we're just basically going to get pissed and have a bit of a laugh. Yeah, all right then. So that's where that came from.
That's a much better place to come from than, let's just manufacture a vape show out of, pre-existing vape celebrities. It's better if you're friends first. It's it's better if you start with just the premise of enjoying it.
Yeah. The premise of it is it's a pub. Yeah.
It needs to be on a Saturday as well.
Yeah, well, at the time when Simon started it, no pubs. So my local off license used to hate me and be like, right, I'll have 2 crates of that and a crate of that.
Yeah.
What the chup you doing? Getting pissed.
Yeah.
I'm also on JP Vapes Friday night.
Yep.
Because Vaping Mank stopped doing. Well, he just stopped. He just stopped doing reviews and he left the vape scene and such.
So have you replaced him as a regular?
Yes.
Excellent.
They had a bit of a chinwag, Simon and JP. Who do we replace them with? And unfortunately, my name came out of the bag.
I think we're going to have to move on to the quiz. I think we're going to have to because we're late.
This is all. This is all the good stuff because this is a lot of people say. Like me and John were looking at a new time slot, so we wanted to move off Thursday because there was 3 or 4 other shows. And what you realise is there's way more live vape shows than you realise out there. It almost seems like we've ground to a halt. There's loads of really good new shows, so people should check these things out. Put some links in the chat. I'll put a post up tomorrow on the group as well.
It's amazing. When we first started doing this show in its old bit, there was us and one other show, Vape Talk UK. Was it? When we started doing it.
If you wanted to watch anything else live, you needed to go through the actual networks. They were the vaping networks, weren't they, back then?
Yeah.
Which no one watched.
One of the first vape shows I did actually watch was Dean the Devil.
Yep. Yeah. All good. Right. Well, we better do Master Vapor. Right. You missed last week, so you don't know about this, Gareth. But
it's all right. Just throw me in the deep end.
You are in the hot seat, my friend.
Actually. I've got a towel.
We are going to ask you. We're going to ask you, like Mastermind, we're going to ask you questions about vaping for 1 minute.
1 minute. Skip
1 minute. 1 minute. Now, the good news is that the first person to do it was Dean last week, and he only got. Did he get 2, John?
2. But telling on the chat we've just had, you might beat that.
You might be.
And judging by how you've just kept the timer going now for 30 seconds, I've got even less time.
You've got 1 minute and I haven't pressed it yet, I promise.
No.
I need to pull up the questions. We'll take it in turns. You go first, John.
Okay, you give me the go.
Okay, so do you get it? We're just going to literally ask questions. Answer them as quick as you can. You can pass if you like.
I would pass fast. That's the one thing I would say.
Yeah.
If you don't know, go. Just
1 minute. And you'll enter the leaderboard. Ideally with more than 2, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, are you ready?
Go.
Okay, John, go.
Where was the UK Vape Jam held?
Manchester?
No.
I don't go to expos. Go on, next.
What is the name of popular Scottish vape influencer Mark Todd's dog?
Pass.
What is the name given to a D-chord Clapton wrapped around a multi-strand core?
Fused.
What is the real first name of Australian vape celebrity Vaping Bogan?
Sam.
Which popular e-liquid company are the producers of Mother's Milk and Sucker Punch?
That's complicated because there's a few, but I'd say Suicide Bunny.
What was the name of Matt Cully's original sidekick on Suck My Mod?
Pass.
What is the popular name for accessory of widened tank with more? What is the popular name for an accessory of a widened tank with more capacity?
Bubble glass.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Bubble glass. Yes. Okay, so you got bubble glass correct. You got suicide.
I think you got
correct.
3.
Sam correct. 3.
3.
Woohoo! I'm
You're
top.
in the lead.
You're top
of the board.
You are the current master vapor.
I said, there's no point asking me about Expo. Stop me, Twitter.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
said
that
that,
one.
it
We were
was like-
actually, we wouldn't have even accepted London actually for that.
No,
we
it
wanted
was-
the Excel.
It was the Excel Centre.
Oh,
Mark
the
Todd.
Nightingale.
Yeah, Mark Todd's dog is TJ, the Cocker Spaniel. And that. What
Are you
was
going to
that?
attempt this one again, John? A D-cord Clapton wrapped around a multi-strand core.
I say you lost a lot of time on that one.
Yeah, that's an alien.
Well, I do make some coils, but I just generally don't put names to them because I make them how I want them.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote the bubble glass question badly, but
It was fine. I kind of
Matt
jumped
Cully's
it.
original sidekick was obviously his wife, which
You
was
mean
V or
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Yeah,
You mean like that bubble tank?
Bubble glass, yeah.
yeah, bubble glass, bubble tank.
Perfect.
We'd have accepted all of those.
You're
It'd be
winning.
interesting to see how people did in chat. But you are officially number one, and it's nice because it's obviously
Devil's in chat. He's giving him the easy question. So
Dean's now going, what the fuck's
it's
going
a-
on here?
I tell you what, though, it's a lot easier when you're not in the hot seat. A few people watched it back and messaged me, and when you're just watching, you can just reel them off. You can just reel them off. Oh yeah,
I
TJ,
did this.
mate,
I
yeah.
did this one, and I will say I got 4, but I didn't get. Yeah, no, I got to about where you are. But I got 4.
Are there any more questions? I know it's not the minute now, but
We're gonna keep them because that
Yeah,
means
we
we can
hold
just
them back.
recycle.
okay, you're gonna have to invite me back.
Yeah. You should have another pop.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. We want to try and get everyone on this leaderboard because it's sort of like like Top Gear. Like
Yeah.
By the end of that, the
times.
names that they had on that list were amazing, weren't they? Like proper, like.
I reckon we
names.
can get Nick and Sam and everybody on there. It'd be good.
Yeah. Some of the ones, yeah. So that went quite well. I'll find out in chat how did everyone do. We'll find out. But whilst we're waiting to see how they've got on, we will look at some new stuff. Do you both have the feed up on
Yeah,
your
let's
screen?
bring it up.
Devil saying he got 4 or 5 from this quiz. Hey, that's the luck of the draw. That is the luck of the draw.
I mean, look, it's that thing when you're not sat in the time. It doesn't feel like you do feel like you can just.
We
keep
originally wanted to do 45 seconds, and it is literally not long enough. That's why it's a minute.
It's
now.
not impossible.
Especially when you're halfway through when you're like, cock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like I haven't actually watched Mastermind, but I think passing is key, isn't it?
It is just shift if you don't know it. That's the thing. Just get rid of the question.
As soon as you go like Matt from SMM, and no.
Yeah,
sorry.
it says before you were watching it in a way that like
Yeah.
I was still vaping, I was still going on and everything,
yeah, but you were following the
watching.
mainstream.
As
YouTube
it is that thing of who, but then it's just who you because like
I knew you'd know the juice one. Straight
yeah,
off.
it's the people you know as well. Like Mark Todd, who I've been watching since 2012, and as we mentioned Scott, I Get You 69, who is like the first person I know. I think he started in like 2000. It might have started in 2008, 2009. Yeah, and I just watched him.
Yeah, with the juice one, I do recall there were a couple of companies actually doing mother's milk.
Yeah, it's not new.
Besides one on a Eco Vape were another. I don't know.
And there was unicorn milk as well.
Unicorn milk as well, and there were unicorn vomits, and there's loads of them.
Yeah, right. I'll pull it up. Let me know when you can see it on your screen. Not much new stuff. I could reel off the longest list of companies that haven't released product in the last 2
I'll go
months.
to work and come back.
Like literally, it's insane now. The list of companies that haven't released product in the last 3 months is so long, and really big companies as well. You know, iJoy.
Wismec?
Yeah, iJoy, Joytech, all those guys. It's the longest list, but even people like you wouldn't think, like AsVape, and so it's a really long list. So it's getting harder and harder to find this stuff. But this is this week's new stuff. The first one is from Smock. Don't know.
Yes, we're there.
I don't know how they're pulling this off, but they're doing a Nord 50 watt.
Last 10 minutes.
50 watt. It's literally a pod system, AIO system. Obviously, it's a bit bigger than your average, but 50 watts.
Enough said.
I mean,
How about you know?
1800 mAh, 50 watts. That's literally
10 minutes.
20 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's 3 vapes and tank everywhere and battery flat.
Mm. So I don't know what they're thinking in that. I mean, I'm quite impressed that they've managed that. A battery that's only 1800 mAh but can handle that kind of output, but at the same time, completely useless.
Useless.
LiPo will handle that, and it's the board.
It
that,
must
I mean,
be a little lipo.
It's got to be, yeah.
A
It's just a bit
little,
LiPo.
what's it called? 2S, is it?
Oh, you can't even see because I'm out of the screen, but I'm just opening Life and Death, and I have to admit it'll be a salvation from Ghost Ship.
Oh, really? Oh, I like
Yeah.
Ghost Ship.
I don't, yeah, but I just,
It's a
I
session
do.
thing.
It's a lovely. This has got a better flavour.
Now we showed a little pic of this. This is
Yeah,
a
that's a
real
lot
actual,
better like that.
Yes, it's a real actual pic of the POC X.
Aspire.
by
Is that the Aspire one?
Aspire,
Yeah.
Yes.
I do like Aspire because Aspire have been there since really early days.
They've been there a long time and they're doing good stuff. They're doing.
Well, the first
really good
Nautilus
stuff.
changed everything. It really
Yeah,
did.
the Atlantis as well.
Yeah, they've got a really good legacy, but they went really off road.
Yeah, with the Triton,
Yeah.
which were a massive fail.
And in that era of the Triton, a lot of random shite.
But the coils were. I don't think the Triton coils were all right.
No, Triton coils were all right because the Triton coils were the Atlantis coils.
No, they weren't.
Rebranded, yeah, they were.
Well,
No, they were half
could.
the size.
No, yeah, they weren't the same, but you could convert.
You can put the Atlantis coil in.
Oh, okay. I hate the first ones. The quality control on the first when they first brought out any of the coils was so shit.
Did they actually have any quality control, or did they just do like smoke sticker on it and send it out?
That was an issue, but that wasn't it. But now Aspire really seem to be honing in on.
Yeah,
decent
for me,
little
their
kits, nice
their
design.
0.7 mouth to lung coil is the best coil they've ever made by a landslide.
Well, I had. It was. I think it were a Nautilus 0.7.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I had that coil for a while. Yeah, that banging up. That were absolutely bang on with that.
Yeah, they've hit their mark. Anyway, sorry, you were saying, Richard.
I
It
think
is.
it
It's
looks
plain. I like it. Do we know if there's any board in it?
Yep. No, we don't know that. We
don't know.
We think there is.
Right.
But we think all it's doing is producing a set power output.
Set power. That's okay though. I can do that. That's
Like the feed link.
I don't think it will vapor. I don't think it will try and fire a shot or anything like that. You know, built in.
You think it'll fire out 4.2 volts until it gets flats, then 3.7, then 3.2, and then die?
Yeah, or 3.7 all the way. I'm not sure. I haven't got one, but that's a thing. This is the tank that is causing some of the drama online at the moment. This is the Fat Rabbit, the 28mm RTA
Ordered
from
one.
Hell Vape. Yes, I think it's going to go down really well this tank. Whether it's good,
There's a lot
or,
of controversy
whether
about
it's
it.
good or not. This is we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tank that Vaping with Vic, Scottish reviewer. He worked with
hell.
then got with Hell Vape on a 28mm. They dropped that and then released this, which has caused a bit of a kerfuffle.
I think they've gone back to where they should be as well. That looked simple, and I don't hate it at all. I think that'd be fine.
I think it looks a bit Steam Cravey V3.
Yeah, we spoke about that at the time. Actually,
It looks like Steam Crave tank, but if you're going to copy off a big tank maker to make your
Go for
tank, they're the people, they're the guys, aren't they?
Yeah.
Dean had one on Dean Double Vapor had one on his show on Monday.
Yeah.
And when he took it apart, he was trying to screw it and it wouldn't screw. And it's like the only way I can describe it is, can you remember the Kizuko Unlimit that came out last year, which had the Falcon coil in it? And it also had a rebuildable deck, so it was kind of like a cheap knockoff M25.
Right.
That had a pull off. And
Did he get it working in the end?
Yeah, he managed to work out it would pull out.
Yeah, exactly, which is really Steam Crave. That is so Steam Crave to actually just pull that piece out. But I think it'd be all right. I think it looks pretty good.
I don't think
putting the rabbit branding on it should be a no-brainer for Hell Vape at this point. I think.
I can't understand why they keep running with the rabbit.
I think it's a name, isn't it? It's a name. They sold 200,000 of the original.
Do you think
Dead
it's
rabbit.
a bit like Asda jeans with a Levi label on it?
Yeah, I think. Levi's would be mad to drop their 501 range, or
Aspire call everything Nautilus. Fuck it, I'd do the same.
Yeah, it's just basic marketing.
Fucking works.
Prime X.
What you're expecting, isn't it?
I think it'll do all right. That Fat Rabbit, or whatever they're calling it. What are they calling it? Yeah, Fat Rabbit RTA. I think it'll do all right. It's still a limited audience though. That huge tank market is still a very limited audience.
What? How big is it? Is it
28 millimeters?
28.4 apparently.
Yeah, see, it's not for me, but yeah.
It's a small tank, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you showed off your Titan, didn't you? So there you go.
Yeah, I showed me 20mm pod earlier.
Yeah.
What's this Eclipse RTA? That is the worst promo picture I've seen.
Well, that is Mike Vape's collaboration with Yacht Vape. And this is his new tank with them, the Eclipse RTA. Yacht Vape haven't done their own pictures yet, so maybe there'll be some sexier pictures to follow. This is literally just a photograph that Mike's taken of his tank. I don't know why these companies don't work with the people they're working with and sync up the marketing. But yes, this is a new tank from Mike. One thing you've got to say is Mike is pretty experienced in releasing stuff now, and I would like to think that should bring with it a level of quality. Like he'll know he how many different products he's got his name on? 10. 10.
That's like asking how many kids has Tony B got out.
Yeah, same. He's saying. But
how many what? How many kids has Boris Johnson got?
He doesn't
even know.
So I'd like to think that if he must like it, so it must be a tank of some decentness. Is my point with this.
If he likes it, he won't put. If he didn't like it, he won't put his name to it.
He doesn't. He certainly doesn't need to.
It won't do like certain other reviewers where they just bang the name on it.
I'm sure he's done a few name slaps over the years, but I'm sure he's learned from that now. And to name slap, it would be a decent product for him to want to do that.
Yeah, it'll be a case of thank you for that. Don't put my name on it until you do this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this will be worth looking at. Is my point. I think Yacht Vape have done really well up to now as well. Decent company. Might be worth a look. The Eclipse RTA.
It's a bad promo picture, but that's just the font and shit someone's put on there. It's terrible.
No,
but it's an Instagram post.
No, that's just literally Mike just taking a picture of his phone and putting some writing on it.
Yeah. I got it wrong. I had my mic in the way, so I couldn't see it.
But yeah, that's the thing. Vupu have done something new at last. The musket. Yeah, the musket. It says everything you need to know, kind of, about this on it. On this post, 120 watt, dual 8650. It apparently takes the smart coils with an RBA as well. So I guess it's literally the classic Vupu coils in a way, all work in this. It's just if for me, I immediately thought, do you guys know the double barrel?
I hate the double barrel.
Double barreled.
It kind of got a double barrel feel to it. I don't know if chat are picking that as well.
But it does look better than another drag stroke, Argus stroke, X stroke, S stroke.
It certainly does. I don't know what the screen situation or board situation is.
I'd take that to the pub if it's got a screen. It's got to be variable and have a screen.
It's got to be pretty slim as well, because they've literally just encased the batteries. So
and it's is it a mouth to lung as well?
That tank, no, it's pretty cloudy. Pretty cloudy.
Otherwise,
but it's 510. You put whatever you want on top.
So in the pub, but not if it's not regulated. I don't fucking want it.
That's what's not clear from this picture. This is the first.
Because I don't.
More information will come along in the later days.
I'm only putting 3.8 volts through it.
Yeah, but you could build a mouth to lung that matched the output.
Why would I bother?
No,
that's always been if you've already got something, you can just fiddle with.
For me, mouth to lung regulated vaping is where it's at. Setting it to exactly what you want, you know. They're also releasing this. Now, I don't know what it's called. It's clearly waterproof. I think it's going to be called the
clearly. Oh wait, that's it. I think it's a swimming cap.
The Vupu Seal. And it basically looks like a completely rubber AIO.
It does actually.
Can you see?
Yeah, it's just popped up. There's a gap, and then I was like, yeah.
It's like at the end of my daughter's swimming lessons. It's what she has to like dive into the pool to try and recover.
That tangle.
Is it like
Nautilus?
Esque. Yeah, it does. Nautilus too. Yeah.
That one that nobody could get the top cap off.
Yeah, shredded your
We're out
fingers.
of ice.
40 watts, regulated, IP66. I don't know. I guess
So the IP66 is the water protection regulation, isn't it?
if I was them, I'd proper build this as like a holiday vape.
You can smash the shit out of it. Yeah, but they don't. I will say,
But I
every
would
time they
like,
say
you know, like,
waterproof,
if you're
waterproof,
going on
you
a,
need
like
to
a
put a new
classic,
coil in.
if you go into like a classic, Spanish holiday or Greek holiday or whatever, jumping on the plane, sitting around the pool all week, it's
How
the
many
perfect
times have you
mod for that.
How many times have you jumped into the pool with fags in your pocket, like
Yeah,
in the back of the
Yeah,
day?
but it won't be in vaping illegal in Greece.
Is it?
No, so I was there the other year. It's fine.
No, it's huge in Greece. Dimitri, the vaping Greek is massive.
Yeah, you find Turkey. You can't.
Turkey, and you're not far off.
No, you're fine. I reckon he's thinking Turkey. Yeah, but they're still.
It's not Europe, but
It's still. Yeah, you're not like you are. Nobody stops you. I know. I think Muddit's been out there a few times. It's been fine. Stuart Drummond says IP66. The cover is bare minimum.
yeah, but this is what I can't work out.
It's literally
right?
covered in water in the picture.
You've got a waterproof mod. You've got a waterproof, IP66 kit. You go swimming a couple of lengths, and let's say, for argument's sake, it is in your pocket, and you pull it out. What's betting the first mouthful you get is the water. The water from the swimming pool.
Yeah,
You have to change the coil and everything, but it's not broken.
That concept has never. But I don't mind hearing that my mod is water resistant. But obviously, yeah, if you stick it in the pool, then you're fucked, aren't you?
I tend to go with the idea of keep shit away from water.
Yeah.
But then I remember the amount of times I've jumped in the pool back in the 1990s when I was a young man. Jumped in the pool, and then you just see a pack of Benson Edges float past and think,
Oh, in my case, it's illegal. Yeah.
At least you smoked something decent. You didn't say Mayfair or Lambert Lush
or Royals.
Yeah.
24 to a pack.
I remember sitting at a cafe in Turkey, and a young guy was getting me different 200s, like going away and coming back and going, these ones? I was going Benson Edges, and he kept buggering off and coming back. These ones. And me being like really shirty about £10 for 200 cigarettes. Those are the ones. Thanks.
They're Chesterfields by any chance?
No, these were all better. No, I always got Bensons. I remember I bought back in the day, people, don't get excited, I bought back 1,000 fags every time.
Well, when I had pub in Leeds, there used to be a nice little area around the corner called Bermontoffs, and one of the shady people, they used to sell cigs in the pub. It wasn't legal, but it kind of was. So they used to bring a pallet with 50,000 cigs on it. Super King Blues, when Super King's never made blue cigs.
Yeah. So that's the new stuff. A lot of people in chat saying IP66 literally just means splash proof.
Yeah. It's IP67 that's waterproof.
Yes. So
68 is more kind of like 50 meters.
So that's a bit of a letdown when they've gone to so much trouble to rubberize the entirety of the tank and mod. To hear that it's literally just splash proof. But if I was them, I'd bill it as like the mod to take on holiday. But that's on them. A couple of new stuff from Voopoo. Nice to see them back in action. Like I say, one week I will list the companies that haven't released a product in the last 3 or 4 months, and you will be astonished. Honestly, you will be astonished to hear what used to be massive names of this industry just seem to be, if they're not already dead, dying. Really is. We are at that point now, gentlemen. Any other business before we
last thing, because I do keep forgetting to do it, I keep forgetting to change the price back on Just Add Nick of Can Only Be One.
Cannoli's on offer.
Can Only Be One and Can Only Be Graham. I've taken £2, which is a third of the price off a 10ml bottle, and I've taken £4 off the starter price of the kit of Can Only Be Graham and Can Only Be One on www.justadnick.org.uk. So you can get Can Only Be One for $3.99, which is totally stupid. And I keep forgetting to change it, but I have forgotten to change it, and I'm not at work till tomorrow morning at 9, so I'll change it when I get back.
I'll get on it quick.
So get it before it's gone. I've got a bit of a stock miscalculation, so I need to correct them before I get more.
Jolly good, jolly good. So just I think .org.uk.
Yes.
Anything else? Anything else? Any other business? Thanks for coming on, Gareth.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being the first person to reach out when we moved to Wednesdays and just sort of going, oh, that's cool that you're doing that. You know, I'll let people know. You know, because that's what it's all about, really. I think. We were never on Thursdays to annoy anyone, and we certainly didn't want to move and annoy anyone either. I know Aidan's show starts at 8 and finishes at 9, so it's kind of perfect timing with this. You're on as well, aren't you? You're on earlier as well.
Yeah, I do half an hour before Aidan,
Yeah.
which used to be Dean the Devil's slot.
He moved to Monday,
And he moved to Monday, so yeah.
We've dovetailed. I don't think we're stepping on anyone's toes.
It's
But
never been.
it's so nice when someone just, like, reaches out and says,
Yeah. There was some chat earlier in the thing, and we missed loads of it because there was a bit in the somebody said in the chat that, like, as a debate point of just a joke, is the vape scene toxic? And they answered themselves and said no, and somebody said parts of it are, and I totally agree. But we've always held it as our responsibility to make sure that our bit's not.
it's as toxic as you make it, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's always been when somebody's said, I know this came up recently where I saw a certain vape person saying, you know, oh, people's chat is going. Our chat is generally about the best cake, who's drinking what, blah 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 blah, and our group,
There's never anything.
there's never anything like that because we just don't have it, and it just doesn't happen. Most of the time, it's about food or booze
It's
whatever.
massively. We need to add a few new spanners to our chat, but it's massively difficult to control what people say online in a chat. And why should you really? Because it's people's thoughts, isn't it?
I can honestly say that in chat, there's quite a few that's from, you know, that watched my show earlier on. But you see, I'm low tech. I've got a phone and a computer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you see me like that, it's because I'm quite literally scanning. I'm scanning chat. It's the same on every live show. I've only got one screen, and I can honestly say that's one of the nicest chat group on this stream tonight. Full stop.
Yeah.
They don't never, and nobody does it. And if they do, I keep my eye on it. And we've had a couple. We kind of got trolled a little bit a few weeks ago. You only get one go, and then because I'll spot you if you do two, I'll be gone.
You know what? I think it's very hard. I've had people vape reviewers fall out with me about guests we've had saying things about them that they don't like. How do you control that? How do you control what literally someone says on a live broadcast? You know,
and especially
because
we
on
don't
Blue
want to
Peter when that elephant kicked that guy or whatever.
When we were setting up the show with Gareth tonight, the other thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to falsify a reaction. So most of the time before we started the show tonight, Gareth, we were just telling you how technically that this was this and this was that and this was this. But we don't ask you anything because we want to react as it happens.
Live act.
Because it's fucking pointless. And so we've had, as Richard says, a couple of times a guest has spoken out and said something, and then it's like, oh, he did that on purpose. When the fuck would that come up, you twat?
Yeah,
we didn't do that.
It's always organic. It's their real thoughts. They're a guest.
Yeah. So they've said, well, you asked them that before.
If someone thinks someone's a twat in chat, I'm happy for them to express that. That's just their opinion. It's no impact on us. It's nothing to do. It's not our opinion. It's their opinion. That's what chat's all about.
In my chat earlier, Mr. Intense, I think it was Mr. Intense that said it. Oh, you're ready for the grilling? La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Quiz time, hot seat.
Yeah. Because
what about
Master Vape, you see. Everyone's talking about it.
I ain't got a clue. I watched his show a couple of weeks ago when I had time, and there was none of that on me.
Sweeping the nation, yeah. But you are top of the leaderboard, so...
Yeah.
At the moment.
Long may it continue. I can't wait to see who we've got next time. But we are done. This is the end of the show. Thank you very much for coming on, Gareth. I've put a link in chat. I'll put another post on our group. Join our group when you're allowed.
When I'm allowed, yeah. Sunday.
Join our group on Sunday, and you'll see the same sort of things we talk about. We mainly talk about cake.
Food?
Being
drunk?
Cake, I've eaten it.
A lot of beer, a lot of cake.
A lot of beer, a lot of cake. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's what we like. We like these things. So that's what our group's about. But yeah, jump into there. I'll do a post on the group tomorrow. with all your links and all your socials and stuff and all that stuff.
And I'll have to
thanks
watch
for
it. I'll have to see it on Sunday.
yeah, you'll find it.
You can post whatever you want. I can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, we can until Sunday. Yeah, so thanks for coming on. Thanks for everyone watching. Thanks for supporting us on the new time slot. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.